The University of Washington's Formula Motorsports team is a group of engineering students who design, build, and test 2 Formula-style race cars each year, 1 combustion, 1 electric. Out of about 500 teams, we're currently ranked 30th in the world, and last year we placed 6th in Germany at one of the biggest competitions in the world. So one of the big things about being on this team is not only being able to develop your technical skills, but also being able to develop your leadership skills, working with others through communication, and all the other things that you don't learn in the classroom.
One thing that I always mention to sponsors, professors, families or friends is that this team allows students to get out of the classroom and really apply what they're learning. In my opinion, that's very unique. When you're in classes, you're learning the fundamentals, you're learning about the principles of engineering, but then when you're on the team, you get thrown into this big pool of excitement, really. You win as a team, you lose as a team, you are competing. You really get to know what engineering is in terms of, designing and creating this product. So with design quarter wrapped up, we're well into manufacturing at this point. And the main goals are to get the combustion car on the ground as fast as we can and to get as much testing time on last year's e-car while still developing the current design. This is really important because last year we found out, unfortunately, that if you don't have a lot of testing time, you're not going to have a successful run in endurance. So this year we're all about getting the cars on the ground as fast as possible and just implementing as much testing as we can.
Driving the cars are really exhilarating. The first few times you drive them, you end up with a sore neck because you're not used to having that much force pulling on your head from cornering so quickly. Seems like as you get used to them, you always think they are out of grip, and then you just push a little harder and a little faster and they're still holding on. They're really quick, so everything you do at the throttle you can feel at your back, and everything you do at the steering wheel you can feel in your sides. It's just a really incredible feeling, and now I've recently got to drive the electric car, and it's pretty incredible too. It's got so much power, and when you're going fast and you get deeper into the throttle, it just keeps pulling you harder and harder. So it's a pretty fun car to drive too. But all in all, a really exhilarating car as you get out of them and you're just panting because of how much adrenaline you have rushing through your veins.
My name is Ryan Wolf. I'm the sponsorship lead for the team. The sponsorship team has the task of acquiring all of the resources, services, cash, etc. that the team needs in order to build the 2 race cars that you see behind me. While we can get a lot of products and raw materials sponsored, cash is something that's very hard for us to come by as a team, and your donations will go directly into purchasing things for the car that we can't make from scratch ourselves, but are still just as important to the production of these cars. Certain things that I'm talking about are like the electric car components. A lot of those are very expensive, but at the same time, the electric car is kind of where this competition is moving towards, and so that car is very important to us in our learning as students. Other cool things that we need money to buy for the car are tires. We go through a lot of them. We try not to burn them, but it is kind of fun to go fast around corners, and every once in a while we burn through some rubber. Other things include dampers, the differential, springs, of course. Those are all very kind of fun things that we need money for.
The coolest part of being on the team is definitely kind of seeing everything, especially this quarter, is being made at once, So a lot of fall quarter is us designing it and putting it onto a computer and saying, oh, this will probably work according to these calculations and, this and that simulation. But it's really cool to actually start building it. Most of school is sitting in class and writing down on paper, oh, this is how you would calculate this, or, this is how this would act under this situation. But definitely I've learned a lot more in these past couple months of putting my hands on things and seeing how they actually work out in real life has definitely been probably the most beneficial part of college so far.
I mean, the coolest part about this team to me is the opportunities that it gives the members. The people that put in all of the hours and learn from this amazing experience ultimately get opportunities to progress as engineers later on by getting the very cool jobs. Everybody has kind of their own idea of what these very cool jobs are, but jobs in companies where there's continued innovation, and you can think of Boeing, you can think of SpaceX, you can think of Tesla. All of these companies, you know, I know people that work there, and I'm sure they would say the same thing. It's because they were on this team.